Well, good morning. My name is Mark. I'm one of the pastors here at Northcross. Today is Mother's Day, and we just want to say, just a huge shout out to all of our mums in the audience, biological mums or women who have played any sort of role as mother in others' lives. Just want to have a huge shout out for you all. Well, today we're going to do a short interview, and we have my lovely wife Georgie here to just share a little bit about her experience as a mum with you all. So first of all, George, I'd just love to hear how many kids you have, what ages.
Do you not know?
What ages they are, and maybe you can do it.
That secret one I've got tucked away.
Yeah, I reckon. And maybe you can do it in order of preference if you like.
Of preference of my favourite child?
Yeah.
You're my favourite child. Just kidding. Well, as you know, we have 3 children who are 4.5, 2.5, and 2 weeks old. So
2 weeks old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're
still in a bit of pain from that one.
yeah, still recovering. First of all, tell us a bit about what it's like being a mum again. Like you've just mentioned that we've got a new baby 2 weeks ago. So yeah.
So what it's like being a new mum again.
Yeah.
You forget how tiring and relentless it is. So feeding, a little break with sleeping. But then with the 2 other ones, you're pretty much feeding, sleeping, entertaining, trying not to let them watch too much TV.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's good. I'm enjoying it. Yeah. It's very different from Jack. With Jack, I had some postpartum depression, and so I didn't feel like I enjoyed him as a baby. So it's nice to enjoy this stage.
Yeah.
Which is nice, but also makes me feel like, oh, that was sad I didn't enjoy it with Jack.
Yeah.
As much.
Yeah, for sure. And you mentioned joy. So tell us something about what you enjoy about being a mum.
I just love playing with my kids and enjoying and being present with them. So, yeah, I just love being with them. I don't know how else to... I don't enjoy lots of the tasks that I never get finished. Laundry is never finished. But, no, I just enjoy them. They're so funny and so entertaining and so cute. And obviously they have their massive meltdowns that drive us crazy. But for the most part, they're cool little kids.
Oh, that's wonderful, eh? That they get to experience, one of their parents or both of their parents, experiencing joy and being with them. I think that's real important, eh? So that's something you enjoy, which is just being present and playing and just enjoying them as kids and who
little
they are.
Beings.
Yeah. What's something you find challenging? You've got 3 kids under 5, so.
The most challenging part is that I would say I still don't know what I'm doing. So, you think you've got it figured out with one and things are working well, and then the other one's just a complete, will hit you for 6 and do something completely different, and then you're back to not knowing what you're doing again.
Yeah,
so I think that, and like I said, the relentlessness of feeding a baby, it feels like that with young kids, just the relentlessness of, I feel like I'm always cleaning up, always laundry, always cleaning up, and always trying to get them to do stuff. And that feels, that's probably the hardest thing at the moment.
Yeah. It's kind of like you're trying to parent the 2 older ones and care for this new baby you've got as well, which is quite hard, eh? Yeah,
I'm only 2 weeks deep, so let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Sorry.
Of how hard it is yet to be.
Yeah, and then we've got COVID on top of that, so we've all been in lockdown, so having 3 kids under 5
in
lockdown.
Have a baby during lockdown. It's got its benefits, though. No expectations and no pressure from visitors or, need to be here, need to be there, need to show the baby off. But then the flip side of that is that it's sad that you can't show off your new baby.
Yeah.
So
it's like you want to celebrate it with people, but at the same time you're at home being able to enjoy family more, hey?
Yeah, exactly. Slower paced, and the boys are just getting to transition well.
Yeah, no, for sure. So how do you view your role as a mother?
I'm sure there's someone better qualified to answer these questions. My role as a mother. I think just some of it would be to do with, I guess spirituality as well as legacy, maybe, if we're going big broad terms. But
tell me a bit what you mean by that. What do you mean by legacy?
I don't know. Like one person told me when I was pregnant with Ben years ago.
Who's our eldest child?
That basically that you're raising them to leave you. You're raising them to be their own people, and that they're just yours for a little while. And I kind of just think about it like that, like how I'm raising them to be, I don't want to say good people because that sounds so generic, but like healthy spiritual people, healthy emotional people. Like I do feel like everything I'm doing is for now, but also playing into their future of who they're going to be as men, as women, as husbands, as fathers. Yeah. So that's how I see my role, which is also very daunting and makes me not ever want to be a mother. Too much responsibility.
It's pretty overwhelming, hey, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's almost like you're trying to free them, but like build them to become the best versions of who God's meant them to be.
Yeah.
Hey,
but you're also battling within yourself because like I'm raising them to leave and be their own people, and yet at the same time I'm like, never leave me because I love you.
Totally, because now we're family, right? And I suppose that's what it is.
And I want them all to myself, in some ways. Yeah. Sorry, future wives and husbands.
But that's the good thing, is like there is that tension of like, you know, like we want to stay connected with our kids because we've got those strong, and we want strong relationships with them, but there's also a sense of them individuating and separating.
Yeah. Gosh, I make it sound so easy when they're toddlers.
Yeah.
I don't have teenagers.
No.
Everyone with teenagers, I'm so sorry.
This is only from 5 years of experience, you know.
You guys are all like, just wait, you wait.
That's funny. Is there anything that you've learned from other women about being a mum?
Lots of things. I mean, I feel like I learned even just going to mainly music with the other mums my age. You learn so much from them when you can just, you know, that sense of catharsis and shared experience of what they're going through. I learn from them how they handle things and what they do and how they love and how they take joy in their kids too. And in the same, like all through the years, like at different churches we've been, I think there's people who have like pseudo-mothered me well and nurtured me well. And like that's just what I want to pass on and who I want to be. So it's not so much like I couldn't recall like exact phrases or like statements I've learned, but I think just the feeling and the emotional relationship and the bond that I've seen other people have with their daughters. Like I was even when we first had Zoe and
2 weeks ago,
so you know, recent history, and Yvonne Neville texted and was just like, oh, you know, like it's going to be great to have a relationship with your daughter, and just looking at her and her relationship with her daughter of like it just being such a close friendship, and just something that they both delight in. Like I love that for me and the boys, and that's what I see and how I learn from other mothers. It's just seeing them do it, you know. What's that saying where they say it's like it's caught not taught?
It's caught not taught.
There you go. See, I had a statement.
A phrase or something. And so it's kind of like you know, some of the things that have most impacted you from other women then has been their character or the way that they've related with you, maybe through love and care and maybe even challenge.
Yeah, relationship. I mean, through relationship.
And their presence with you probably.
Yeah, and I think that's been like one of the things that makes me want a mother is that it's my presence and it's relationship. It's not necessarily like, especially at this age, like tasks can wait. Like they're not going to remember that I've folded the laundry well and put it away. So that's, I guess, what I've learned. Presence.
Yeah. So
not perfection. Presence, not perfection.
Presence, not perfection. I like that. Man, you and your sayings all of a sudden.
I'm doing it.
You know?
I'm nailing it.
So what like, especially during the stage, like, you know, you got 3 kids under 5, a new mum, again for the 3rd time. What are some of the greatest needs that you think you have at this time in your journey of being a mother?
I think there's a few. Like, if you broke it up into categories, like you have physical needs where you just need some space, like you're still your own individual, and like, you know, you hear so many stories of mums like putting everything like 100% into the kids and then just it being hard to find themselves again. And so I think doing things for yourself is really important. So physical, whether that's like exercising or whatever. But mine mostly is relational. Like I need, because my extrovert nature, I just need to talk to people. And it's been hard because I'm terrible on the phone. So COVID has been hard on me because I hate talking on the phone. But being in person with people. So I've missed that a lot. And just like, oh my gosh, to just go for a walk along the beach with a friend and then have a coffee afterwards is the dream. It seems so simple. But yeah, I think relational needs probably.
Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously, if I had a full-time cleaner, I'd be stoked. So.
You've got a husband.
His name is Mark.
Funny. So who is the better parent? Is it you or your husband?
Definitely my husband.
Thanks, babe.
Happy Father's Day.
Oh, happy Father's Day. Funny. So if we just take like a different tack just for a minute, how do you, what might just be a couple of basic ways that you see mothers uniquely displaying the character of God?
It's hard because I don't want to make it like a dichotomy of women have this and men have this. So when I say these things, don't make it like 100%. But
it's not black and white.
Yeah, it's not black and white. Like men do have these qualities too. But I think the biggest one would be the relational aspect and the nurturing aspect, I think. I know, again, there are so many other aspects. I feel bad even saying those things, but like the feminine expression, expression of God would be, that nurturing and that relational, deep care and.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those classic verses where the mother hen kind of takes the children under her wing, and there's that nurture and protection and care,
Yeah, I don't know, no offense to men, but I just feel like women are so much stronger than men.
I mean, your pain threshold needs to be higher, right?
Yeah, right. I literally gave birth. But no, not just like that. I don't necessarily mean physically strong. We're not stronger, but in the sense of how much we can hold.
Yeah.
Our emotional capacity to hold things and hold tasks and hold our children's emotions and to hold our husbands, and I just think there's so much strength in that.
That's actually a really good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
It takes a lot.
It takes a lot. Yeah.
And I mean, it's not even just with families. Women without families, how much capacity they have and how much they can hold is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing. From experience, I know that mine's not nearly where yours is, and it's great that we're partners in this, because you do offer that strength, Yeah. So that's wonderful. Thanks, babe.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'll do what I can.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's important that a mother is praying over her children? Or what role do you see prayer in the life of a mother?
I think it's hard. Prayer is one of the biggest things I struggle with, and just in terms of
spiritual discipline.
Yeah, spiritual discipline, or just time, or the theology of it. I've always struggled with, and so not struggled with I don't believe it, but struggled with as in is this even why am I doing this? Is there a point? But yeah, I mean, I do at the end of the day believe it's very important, and we pray every night with the kids, and I feel one of those things of constantly praying. I do genuinely feel I'm constantly, and someone not
yeah.
What do you call it? Mentally thinking about it, but spiritually giving my kids to God, knowing that they are ultimately His.
And He's here with us.
Yeah, and that He's here with us. And that all things I'm doing in parenting, I am trying to do to His glory and stuff like that. And obviously, again, it's not conscious, but I feel I'm fulfilling a role right now in this time of life that God walks alongside me with it.
Yeah.
And I mean, one of the first things I did when I had a moment alone with a new baby girl was just pray over her and pray over her life, and give her life to God, and just taking joy in being thankful, and prayers of adoration and praise and all of it, not just you've got her,
And that's a real blessing for her, because again, not every child has a parent who would even begin to do things like that, And I suppose one of the things that makes you a wonderful mum is that, even though you're not perfect, right, and none of us are perfect parents by any means, but at times when we're doing that, we're at our best, we're intentionally trying to do things like that, and when we can't, or we don't have the strength, our trust and reliance is on God, is that He's going to bring people into our children's lives to maybe meet some of those needs that we couldn't,
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that I mean, this isn't related to praying, sorry, but I'm going to do things wrong, and so it's not about being right all the time, but about repairing well. I want to do the best that I can, but also repair well with my kids and in front of my kids when I have hurt them.
So it's okay to mess up, right?
Yeah, it's totally okay to mess up, but
about reconnecting.
Reconnecting after and repairing well afterwards, and then seeing that I had messed up. Yeah.
Do you think a mother should have to shower every day?
Have to?
Do you think it's feasible?
Should? No, I certainly don't. Judge me if you will, but ain't nobody got time for that. Literally, this is literally what I do when I have a moment. Obviously, I've got the newborn, so this is a different stage of life. But like when I have a spare hour, it's do I sleep, do I eat, do I shower, or do I just sit and stare at the wall? So you've got limited options.
And limited time for those options, right?
And today I'm making a video, so I won't shower or eat today.
Nice.
I'm just kidding, I will.
Yeah. I'll hug you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Funny. Yeah. Do you think it's hypocritical of parents, mainly us, to like to like eat a bag of candy 2 days in a row, or to order burger fuel in 2 days in a row, and yet tell our kids to eat healthy and say no, you can't have that piece of candy or piece of chocolate cake?
Oh, totally, but that's also, part and parcel.
That's
They're
part of
too
the role.
good now. They have like supersonic hearing. They hear the lolly bag open from like a mile away, and then they find my secret stash in the bedroom. So I'm addicted to lollies. I can't help it.
Funny. Well, babe, I just want to say, thank you so much for being here and doing this with us. I love you. You're a wonderful mum. I wouldn't want to do this journey with anyone else. And, I hope you have a great Mother's Day and feel celebrated. And, we want to say the same to you guys
Happy
as
Mother's
well.
Day.
Happy Mother's Day. You know, whether you've got your own biological children or not, you matter in the lives of so many people, and we just want to honour you today. If you're like a woman, you've played any sort of sense of mothering in anyone's life. So thanks for being with us. Hope to see you guys in church again soon.
Stuck to the chair. Okay, bye. Happy Mother's Day.